Hi, Jessica Sporn here. I created some holiday cards using my 3 trees stencil from Stencil Girl products and some watercolors. So here I had already stenciled the starry tree and painted around it using some green paint. Then I took a Sakura glaze pen, it's clear, and I doodled some swirls and stars around the tree. I took my watercolor paints, these are koi watercolors, but any will do, and as I painted around the tree, you can see that the Sakura glaze created a resist around the tree, and all of these swirls and stars kind of pop through as if they were in a starry night. I had previously stenciled some of the elements onto tissue paper, and now I'm just ripping them out and gluing them onto my card. I'm using matte medium, and you can see how the tissue paper just melts into the watercolor background, and it looks as if you stenciled directly onto the paper. So I've folded a watercolor paper into half, and now I am stenciling onto the heart-shaped tree. Again, I'm using the Sakura glaze pen to doodle around the tree. And I'm going to reactivate my watercolors by spritzing them with water. So here I'm taking a green color and just going around the tree, and again you'll see the places where I use the Sakura glaze pen just resist the paint and emerge in the background. For the third tree, I mixed pearl pigment or mica powder with some gold and with some red paint, and I'm just randomly stenciling the ribbons of this tree with a cosmetic sponge. I'm using my medallions stencil to create a gesso resist background, so I just placed it over the tree and stenciled with gesso. And now as I paint with my watercolor, all the places that were gessoed through the stencil create another resist and another design. Now that the cards are dry, I'm going back in with Derwent Inktense pencils. These are like watercolor pencils, except they're made with actually very intense ink, and so once the ink dries it becomes permanent. But you can use your watercolor pencils or crayons too, or just watercolor paint. So I'm just going back in and creating some shadows and shading. And actually a white crayon would work really beautifully as a resist medium too. So pull out your acrylic paints and your watercolor paints and a resist medium and have some fun. Visit me at jessicasporn.blogspot.com.